Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about needles for your sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how to change a needle and why new needles are important. And there are different types of needles for different types of fabric, and having the right needle is important. Now I buy my needles in bulk, and I buy organ needles, and this is a size 11. And these are for lightweight, like cottons, that type of fabric. And then there are needles for jeans, or for denim, or for heavy fabrics. And mine are all gone. I just happened to save this, I don't know why. And these are size 16. And this is for a heavy fabric. And then you have quilting needles, and these are gone also. These are size 11, but these quilting needles have a sharper point, and so they're able to really pierce several layers of like cotton type fabric. And then these are jersey ballpoint needles, and there's not much of a point on these needles. They're pretty rounded, and that's so when you stitch on knit fabrics, it doesn't pill up or create like a run in the fabric. And then these are embroidery needles. This machine I have here is also an embroidery machine, so I do like to use these embroidery needles for when I do embroidery. And I also like these for my serger. And these are size 11, but I think it's the shaft is a little bit different, a little bit maybe wider. I can't quite remember, but it keeps it from shredding the thread, because the thread goes extremely fast when you're doing embroidery. And to change a needle, it's really simple, and most machines are the same. And this is, let me unthread this here, and there's just a screw right here, and you just turn it, and and the needle comes right out. It helps if you have the pressure foot down. And this is a needle, and it's really important not to sew with a dull needle. And I have seen people, I've asked them, well, when was the last time you changed the needle in your sewing machine? And they're like, I never have. But that's a big mistake. You need to have a fresh needle. And like I said, I buy my needles in bulk because I use a lot of them. They're cheap, and whenever I start a new project, I always use a new needle. And here's my pin cushion, and look at all these sewing machine needles in here. I don't know why I save them. I should just throw them, but I'm always scared they're gonna sneak out of the garbage can. But that is the importance of sewing machine needles. And now I'm going to show you how to do a 1/4 inch straight stitch. So I'm going to stop this video, and I'll attach the other video to this. Okay, when doing most sewing, you're usually going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And that is, like, I know on my machine that my 1/4 will be right here. There's a little line here on the foot, so I know that's where the edge of my fabric should be. And I want to show you another trick. This is so your fabric doesn't get sucked into the abyss here. Is you can take a piece of tissue paper, and you can lay that down, and then you take your fabric and lay that down in the tissue paper. And now when I sew my 1/4 inch, I want the edge of the fabric to be where this little indent is on my foot. And all sewing machines are probably going to be different. So don't, just because mine is right there doesn't mean yours is going to be right there. So I put the foot down, and I'm going to sew. And when you're quilting, no, I'm going to back stitch here because you always back stitch when you start and you stop. But when you're quilting, it's important to have an exact 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to go all the way to the end here for you. And then we're going to measure it and see if it's 1/4. And then again, I'm going to back stitch because I'm at the end of my row. And I have my sharp scissors. And then the tissue paper you just simply pull off. But there is my seam allowance. And when I open it up, it'll be nice and straight. Here it is. Okay, and here's my ruler, and we're just going to measure that. And 1/4 is right there, and that's a perfect 1/4 inch straight stitch. And I also want to show you how to properly pin fabric. A lot of people will pin their fabric by inserting the pins in this way, up and down. That's not the right way to do it because see, you can already tell it's going to not be straight. So you want to go side to side, not up and down. Okay? And again, side to side, not up and down. And then when you're sewing, you'll be able to pull out those pins more easily. Because see, if they were up and down, you wouldn't be able to pull them out because you never want to run over a pin. That can cause all sorts of problems. But that is how you pin fabric. And since we're talking about straight stitches and pinning, I wanted to show you how to take stitches out if you make a mistake. One thing that people will do is they will try to rip out their stitches this way. But what you want to do first is get some of these locking threads cut like this. And then you can open up your fabric and remove the rest of the stitches. Then you can start seeing them. Then I just pull it gently. And then again, you just keep going until you seam rip your mistakes away. And this is a seam ripper. This is just a simple seam ripper. There's fancy ones. Don't get the fancy ones. Don't bother. Just get the little seam rippers, and always have more than one because it will get lost. I guarantee it. So I have like 10 seam rippers. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday for another installment of beginner sewing tips. Thanks for watching. Bye.